We are finally here for WWE's Wrestlepalooza of 2025 predictions, and here I'm going to give my thoughts and opinion on this show. The show, some of the matches are looking pretty interesting, some of them at the same time are not, and some matches shouldn't be here. But either way, before we get into my thoughts and predictions, remember to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because it all helps out the channel. And if you like wrestling content, I know you would like what I have coming up. But let's get into these Wrestlepalooza predictions. Jimmy and Jay Uso, the Usos versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And I've kind of enjoyed this story, even though they kind of rinse and repeated the same things on the main event of Monday Night Raw in the openings. I still feel like this story has been good in terms of finally giving some type of layers for Jay Uso, because he's been very one-noted because of his Heat character, and giving something to him is good. And he's kind of acting almost like a heel, almost like a Roman Reigns type of person. And I feel like this is finally getting some type of character and edge. And it's also good too to have Jimmy Uso here. He's great having the Usos back together. And even though I really, I think it's great too, he's been able to spotlight to Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed finally doing their own thing together instead of being with Paul Heyman. Even though Reed and Breaker should already be having the tag titles already, which I don't understand why they don't have them, and they've been an official tag team for a very long time. But also too, even though I definitely do feel like Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker need to win so much more than Jay and Jimmy, I just don't think they're gonna get to win it, because I think they should have won at SummerSlam and even the Reed's match at Clash at Paris, and they haven't won that. So I don't even think they have a shot here of winning this match, even though I think they should. Even though Jimmy and Jay are having issues because of how Jay's been acting, I still don't see that happening. And even though that sucks that might end up being the case with this, I definitely do think this might end up being almost everyone in this match. And I just definitely do think, okay, what's the next direction for each of both teams? Or is someone going to win tag gold and we're going to continue this feud? Or we're just just building this up the way for War Games? Like, what's the real career path and real direction with this? And even though I've still been saying that I think the Vision needs this win more, at the end of the day, I do think the Usos are going to get the win over Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker. Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Don't get me wrong, I think this is going to be a banger match. I think it's going to be great. The last match they had on Monday Night Raw was a very, very good match. I just kind of wish, I understand Cody's filming Street Fighter, but at the same time too, you're a WWE champion, you should be here, you're the face of the company, and it kind of hurt it because you had to tie in Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre into this, and I just kind of wish we got more one-on-ones between Cody and Drew to really build up this feud, because they're both two great workers, and there's history with this feud. There's history with Drew McIntyre being one of the last few people to pin Cody Rhodes before he went to defeat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, and just the history that they have, and you can say the career paths, them leaving WWE, coming back to WWE, like there's so many parallels. It's all right there, and I wish we got so much more of it, which the part of the issue is we have with these PLEs being so close. But outside of that, I'm so excited for this match. I think the two men in there are going to deliver a great match, because they're two great talented workers, and so I'm still going to be excited for this match either way, even if it's predictable, because predictable doesn't always mean bad. But either way, I am choosing Cody Rhodes to retain his WWE Championship. So John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, and John Cena's winning. Brock Lesnar shouldn't win, and that's it. Because really, we do not need this. I don't need this at all. I don't know why we're having this match. It should not be here. And this feud, his build-up has been bad. No one has wanted this. But either way, I am choosing John Cena to get the win. Io Sky versus Stephanie Valkyrie for the vacant WWE Women's World Championship. But to me, this match could go either way. I could see either person winning. And before we get into the winner of this match, I'm just excited that we're finally getting this match on a one-on-one. No DQs, no distractions. It's two women, two of the best women in WWE, going to deliver a banger of a match, because we've seen the past two matches and they have been an elite greatness of matches, and they've been amazing matches between the two. They have great chemistry between the two women, and I cannot wait, because this is one of the matches I'm very excited for, and I think it's going to be a very great match. But in terms of who's really walking out as winner, it's very hard, because to me, I feel like both women deserve to be champion. Like, I could see both sides. Like, Stephanie, won the Women's Battle Royal. She's an up-and-coming star. She's someone who could really have a new direction of many feuds you could see with, because she doesn't really have any feuds going on. So you could see her feuding with anybody, and that's a big star you want to put it on. I could see her being able to hold up that pressure of being the world champion on the main roster like she was in NXT, even though they're different things, because NXT is more, for the elemental, and main roster is the legitimate, real thing. But at the same time too, the other issue I don't see Stephanie winning it is because Stephanie's barely been on TV. She's just finally literally wasn't on TV since July, or having like small backstage segments, not really building anything. And it really built anything with Io in this entire feud until this most recent episode on Monday Night Raw. And she doesn't, even though you could see having her feuds with multiple different people just on the roster, she doesn't have any build up or tease feuds you could see with her feuding with anybody after the title. But you could see that with Io. Io is telling this great story with Rhea, Asuka, Kairi, and multiple different, with Nikki Bella and multiple different women. That has been an amazing feud, amazing story. You can see Io having multiple matches. You could see, of course, the Rhea rematch. You could see another match with Stephanie. You could see a Kairi match. You could see an Asuka match. Even though they've kind of stopped it, you could still see something with Raquel or Roxanne, or maybe with this messed up and multiple personality Bailey getting involved, or Lyra, because she can't challenge the IC title. Like, don't get me wrong, some of those feuds too could be for Stephanie. They've been telling the more continuous story with Io, and it's kind of hard for me to really believe that Stephanie has a more real shot on this, because they haven't put any time to her being in this match until the last episode of Monday Night Raw. Like, she hasn't had anything built up with Io until this most recent episode. Either way, outside of winners and choosers, my only real worry is how is the champion going to be booked? Because Io Sky had the greatest match at WrestleMania, and one of the greatest triple threats ever in WrestleMania history, with Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. And what happens after she retains her title at WrestleMania is not on TV until she loses the title, and it's so irritating. And that's my worry with someone like Stephanie, because they're doing the same thing to Julia on SmackDown. So I am very worried that this could be the direction that ends up happening with Stephanie or Io if they win the title. But I could also see both ways. Stephanie's a new star, you put the title on her, see how things go when you launch her into the stratosphere, since she's super over. At the same time too, even though plans do change, I could see also Io winning the title, just because Stephanie probably was never going to beat Naomi at Clash of Paris for the title, and also Io too would be the safer pick of her winning the title back, and safer pick of knowing that she can hold the title, have good feuds with it. But I could see either way, like, they're very, very close. Io and Stephanie, in terms of decision of choosing who will win, like, neck and neck with each other. And even though I think Stephanie should win the title in this match, just how things are going and how people are being booked, I'm going with Io Sky to win the Women's World Championship. AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Me, honestly, I've enjoyed the promos, even though it's been short, the feud's back. And just having AJ Lee back in WWE has been crazy. And getting to see her back in actual ring and seeing if she can hold up today this era's women, because we've said so many times that AJ Lee, right when the women started getting better and better, and now she's finally back in to mix it up with some of these women, especially one of the greatest, to me, is the GOAT women's wrestler in WWE, Becky Lynch, would probably be their feud all the way up to WrestleMania. This is the time to finally get to see her back, and I'm so excited. And to me, I'm still been enjoying the CM Punk and Seth Rollins feud. That's just me. But either way, this is a great stop, and another way, because the story has really been getting better. The whole Vision and Punk, because of all this stuff, and I think all this has been great. It has been amazing, and it's been so exciting. I just still can't get over that AJ Lee is back, and I'm so hoping that she does great in this match. It's a great first match to really get her feet warm, get her comfortable back, and having matches again. It's having a mixed tag match with her husband against two the safest and the greatest workers in the WWE, of a Seth Rollins and a Becky Lynch. So either way, I'm excited for this match, and there's no real way of a wrong winner. You can see both sides winning, but it's more obvious of who's actually going to win, and I think it's understandable why they're going to win. And honestly, if it was me, I think AJ Lee and CM Punk should win, but AJ Lee should pin Becky Lynch, so then that can lead into a singles match between the two for the IC title, because I do see AJ Lee winning that title off of Becky Lynch. But either way, I'm just very excited that AJ Lee is back. We're getting promos with her. She's actually going to be finally back in a WWE ring having a match. I am choosing AJ Lee, CM Punk to get the win. But either way, these are all my predictions for this year's WWE Wrestlepalooza of 2025. And even though I'm kind of mixed on some of the matches and the builds and the stories for this, I think some of the shows are going to be excited, even though WWE hasn't been the best of this year in 2025. But let me know down in the comments your thoughts and your predictions for this entire show. Like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and we're going to have to wait and see what happens at this year's Wrestlepalooza. Things are probably going to get pretty interesting. That's all for me, and I'll see you all in the next one.